are looking at images of Ryan Gosling, or however you say his name, in the movie Drive, which ironically did not have a whole lot of driving in it, though it did have a fair amount of brutality. I don't really recommend this movie, but it's what came to mind to me to start this video with, because we are going to be talking about drivers. And we've already talked about drivers, but I just want to make sure everything is covered in complete detail for you so that you know everything you need to know about using a computer. This is a computer essential. This is an essential computer skill, knowing what drivers are and knowing how to use them. So what exactly is a driver? Well, of course, you could always go to Google and you could say, Google, what is a driver? Show me what a driver is at Wiki, right? And you'll find a whole bunch of different stuff. But eventually you'll find something that tells you a driver is a special little piece of software that allows your computer to drive other pieces of hardware. What does that mean? That means if I'm at a yard sale and I see a printer I like and I say, hey man, why is your printer only $5? And the guy's like, I don't know, because I lost the software for making it work and it doesn't work anymore. But if you can figure it out, it's yours for $5. And you'll be like, sweet, because I know how to figure that out. And you buy the printer at the yard sale. It doesn't have any of the software disks with it. But then you go to the printer's website and so maybe you have a brother HL2170W. That's what you bought at the yard sale. So you just go to Google and you say, hey, give me that printer and type driver after it. So you want the driver. And then you go to the link for it. We've already seen this. And it asks you, you're now at the brother website, and here's for the printer you just purchased at the yard sale, and you're looking at the downloads for that printer. And it says, what kind of an operating system are you using? And you have to choose the type of operating system you're using, right? Because an operating system, right? Because you're going to download some application software. You're going to download a driver. It's actually utility software, but it's still software. You're going to download some software, and that software is going to run on top of your operating system. And so every piece of software is written for a specific operating system. And when you're here, it's asking you what is your operating system. Do you have Windows 8 32-bit or 64-bit, or Windows 7 32-bit or 64-bit? And so you need to download the right piece of software to run on your operating system. This is the driver right here. This is the driver. This is going to allow your computer to drive. It's going to allow your computer to drive that printer to make it work. And so how do you find out what kind of system you have? We've seen this many times before, but I'll show you again just in case. You go to Start, right-click My Computer, and choose Properties. And it'll bring up some information here. I have, let's see, Windows 7. Yay! Windows 7, and it's 64-bit. Right there, Windows 7, 64-bit. Windows 7, 64-bit. So I would go to Windows 7, 64-bit, and choose English. And then download. Bam! That's it. And then when I install that software, my computer would then know how to drive that printer, how to make it work. And there are drivers for everything. So yeah, if you have a printer, or if you have an HP printer, like even if we just go to HP's website. All right, so support and drivers. It's like one of the main categories on their website right there. So you could go find the drivers for whatever piece of hardware you have. So a good rule of thumb to use when it comes to hardware is connect the hardware to your computer and see if your computer knows how to make it work. And if it works fine to your satisfaction, then don't worry about installing anything. Your computer already knows how to make it work. And if it's not working to your satisfaction, so sometimes it'll kind of work, but it's not working quite as well as you'd like it, or it won't work at all. In either of those two cases, you go get the driver and you make sure it's got the current, most up-to-date driver, and that'll allow your computer to drive the software. So that's a little bit about drivers. That's where you get drivers. That's how you install drivers, and download drivers and run the driver. When you download it, let me just download it, just so you see it, I'm going to download Windows 7 64-bit. Bam. Let's refresh this page. There we go. Download. English 64-bit. Download. Search. It wants me to search. Okay. Now, what do I have? Full driver and software package. Download and information. Download. I accept. And show this in Finder. So this is downloading. Alt-Tab, my little favorite Alt-Tab deal, come back here. It is now downloaded. Come back here. There it is. And that has the exe file extension. It also says it's an application over here. So all I got to do is double click that and it will install that driver. I'm not going to double click it right now because I'm just doing this as an example. As a matter of fact, I'm going to select all that, hit delete, and send it to eternity. I'm going to send it on its way to the great black void from which it emerged. A little funny anecdote of story. I don't know if it's that funny, but I thought it was pretty funny. I have a friend who has a young kid, and she went over to pick up her kid from grandma's house, and he was out back, and he had a bucket, and he was taking snails from the garden and smashing them and then putting them into the bucket. And so she, the mom was a little disturbed, and she's like, honey, because here's her son like being brutal with snails. She's like, honey, what are you doing? And he was like, oh, Grandma showed me how to help these snails on their way to heaven. All right, so I just sent that stuff. I just helped it on its way to heaven, all those files. I will see you in the next video. You have learned about drivers. That's an essential computer skill.